All right, as you know, Nintendo has a very bad track record with competitive Smash players, modders, content creators, all that in the past. But things just got a whole lot worse, and probably the worst they can get. Everyone say hi, YouTube. Another Hungry Talks topic. But today's topic is not about Smash Bros. HBox, what are you talking about? Just when you thought copyright claims on Nintendo YouTube videos were bad enough, Nintendo is now taking a scorched earth copyright claim. Just when you thought copyright claims on YouTube videos were bad enough, Nintendo is now taking a scorched earth approach to literally take down channels at their own volition. You've likely heard of PointCrow's Breath of the Wild videos being taken down, but there's actually a lot more to it. So I'm going to review what PointCrow said in his statement, and then I have a lot more context as to why this is as bad as it is and how it affects everyone. And if you guys haven't seen this, it's pretty wild, so you should watch this just for your own education.
Nintendo has decided to take down my and other content creators' videos. But for today, it's important for you to know that on occasion, I modify the games I play and explore what happens when the game mechanics are a little different. Most recently, I modified The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to become a multiplayer game. To be clear, I have never encouraged piracy of Nintendo's games. The mods that I have commissioned are not being sold, and all of the code is custom, meaning that they are free of Nintendo assets. On April 6th, 1 week ago, Nintendo decided to block all 4 videos that I put up on YouTube playing the multiplayer mod. I appealed their decision, as I'm very much in line with their content guideline policies. We'll go over that in a moment. And these videos are fair use. Nintendo then escalated and issued a copyright strike against my YouTube channel. Not once, but twice. Rather than bundle the videos all into one copyright strike, Nintendo issued a copyright strike for one video and then bundled the other 3 into another strike, deliberately putting my channel in danger, but not taking it down completely.
So remember, they can choose how they strike stuff, and the video PointCrow is talking about, of course, was the Breath of the Wild multiplayer mod, which I thought was really, really cool. And my guess as to why Nintendo went so scorched earth on PointCrow was because they didn't want any video, traffic interfering with their Tears of the Kingdom release. It's still just kind of messed up.
I was able to get an email address for Nintendo and sent a message asking that we discuss what's going on and try to reach an amicable resolution that would make both parties happy. I heard nothing back so far.
Also, Nintendo, notoriously known for taking forever to respond to emails, sometimes weeks at a time.
So the next day, Nintendo claimed 24 more of my videos.
24?
Most of them are modded content. A lot of them are Breath of the Wild, but not all of them are. This is key. They also claimed videos containing footage from Super Mario Odyssey, the Pokemon series, and Wii Sports Resort.
And you'll notice that all of them are mods, right? Like pretty much.
The most surprising one, though, was a claim from one of my first videos back in 2019, marrying Sidon and a bookshelf to create Hyrule's first car. It's just a regular vanilla gameplay video of Breath of the Wild.
That means they weren't even watching the videos. They just saw the thumbnail and they said this must be a mod. To give you some perspective, guys.
Takedowns aren't exclusive to my channel either. Over the course of the next couple days, Nintendo is taking down videos from other channels as well. Croton, another very prominent YouTuber, has had at least 10 live streams and 2 videos removed. Importantly, one of those videos is simply a challenge video. These takedowns may have started with modded content, but they have spiraled into something else entirely. So now you know what's happening. At this time, my channel has had 29 videos taken down, 2 copyright strikes, and Nintendo does not seem to be stopping the removal of videos from other creators on YouTube. Nintendo is sending takedowns and strikes against the creators showing content of their games. It's not just modded content. They've shown that they're striking down regular gameplay videos as well. It's sporadic, and their enforcement of their copyright is incredibly uneven. The thing is, without even considering fair use, all of these videos are very clearly in line with Nintendo's own game content guidelines for online video and image sharing platforms. From their FAQ, what types of content are acceptable under the guidelines? What types of content are not acceptable? We encourage you to use Nintendo game content in videos and images that feature your creative input and commentary. However, you may not simply upload a live stream of an existing Nintendo video, gameplay footage without your own creative input, or a copy of content created by someone else. You might argue that modded content is in violation of these guidelines.
But it's not. At least right there is what it says. And again, one thing that makes me really confused is the fact that you don't. Why does this guideline, if it is in place, exist in the first place? Press 1 if watching a custom modded version of a game makes you want to get up and play that game again because it's cool and fun, or go buy it. Of course it does. It breathes life into an old game and maybe gets more sales. This is what I mean. It's absolutely backwards. This is not just a Nintendo issue. This entire copyright infringement issue is so strange to me because it does help. It's like saying you watching someone do a funny mod on TikTok that has 3 million views. Yeah, if I see it, I'm going to want to play Breath of the Wild on my Switch, even vanilla. They don't seem to get that, and I never understood it.
But historically, that's not the case. The terms of service for The Legend of Zelda says you cannot modify the game, but it also says that you cannot stream it, you cannot make videos of it, and you cannot otherwise broadcast it. Nintendo's game content guidelines changes this, though, by providing a license on top of the existing terms of service, which modifies the terms of service for content creators. All of the videos that they have taken down are in compliance with their own policies. I use Nintendo game content in my videos, and they are all featuring my creative input and commentary throughout the duration of the medium. Now, this is a little scary, because the precedent that they set with this case may apply heavily for their upcoming release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. In fact, what they've demonstrated here is that they will ignore their own policies and licenses to selectively enforce their intellectual property. So, if you've uploaded any video that features any Nintendo content, no matter how transformative or directly in line with their published guidelines, you are at risk.
It's like once Nintendo has their ban hammer on you, it basically allows them to justify everything else. They don't take down PM videos. They're not going to get everyone, but Mango famously has had his own PM videos taken down, if you recall correctly. I think I made a video about it in the past, but that has happened in his God of the Mod series.
So, what am I going to do? Nothing. I can't do much of anything about this other than plead with Nintendo and move away from this kind of content. My other option is to appeal the DMCA notices and risk a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So Even if I'm in the right here, that risks my channel, my livelihood, and the livelihoods of my team. I don't want to go through that. And I'm left questioning the future of the content that I'm allowed to make.
So this was the video that PointCrow uploaded in a message to Nintendo. I mean, you just saw what happened. 29 of his videos got taken down. He's a YouTuber with 1.64 million subscribers on YouTube, and he actively does modded content. Now, you might think, oh, well, HBox, you don't do modded content, so you don't got nothing to worry about. You know what we just did for the past 2 hours is we played Slippy. So a bit of a reality check there. Once you do one thing, it seems they can justify the rest of it, right? The point is this, I want to remind everyone how DMCA on YouTube actually works. You have copyrighted material on YouTube, which is found automatically through a system on YouTube servers. That's called Content ID, or it's done manually by the copyright holder, okay? Only certain people, like MCNs, actually have access to YouTube's Content ID. That's where they upload the footage of the things they own, and then they're all gonna automatically find matching footage and videos and apply their DMCA policy. And here's a fun fact. There's been times where an employee has accidentally uploaded the wrong footage or something that was too vague into the Content ID system and caused a mass claim on YouTube videos until it was mixed. There's been at least a few instances of companies uploading an opening cutscene of a video game, destroying nearly every Let's Play that was uploaded until it was later fixed. So you can have that. If they upload it first and everyone has it too, technically they're in breach of that DMCA policy, right? So it's already a very, very flawed system. This is why on many game videos, you'll see that the audio is already claimed. For videos and Content ID to match, it's based on a percentage portion of the video and for a certain amount of seconds. Since game footage can vary so much, like 2 games of Smash never looking identical, it can't be copyrighted visually easily at all, but games with cutscenes actually can. Audio, on the other hand, can be picked up very easily, but YouTubers can easily swap out the music in editing. Then, the manual side of claiming requires someone to actually physically go in and do the claim, or it isn't automatic. They usually have to go out of their way, and traditionally it only happens to larger YouTubers, kind of like PointCrow. It certainly was not a coincidence at all. However, this has also shown how malicious use of DMCA can be approached, where people will fake DMCA notices when they are in fact not the copyright holder. Now, I mentioned that basically on a match, they apply the policy, right? That's what determines what happens to the uploader. There's a policy called track, which provides analytics to the copyright holder, but it does nothing to the creator and lets them keep all the revenue. It's harmless. Then there are copyright claims. That's what 90% of YouTubers run into, including myself, especially with copyrighted music. It leaves the video up, but gives all or even some of the revenue to the copyright holder. That means they take your revenue. YouTubers hate this because it means all of the work on the content now gives no revenue for their work. Claims otherwise do not hurt your account. Then there's the worst one, copyright strikes, all right? So there's a match, copyright claim, copyright strike. Copyright strikes. These are very rare for a company to ever do and are a strike on your permanent record. Get 3 copyright strikes ever on your channel and your channel is gone. Permanently. Just vanished, gone, deleted. It's literally an endgame and life destroying. This also takes the video completely offline and is no longer even viewable. I had that fear that I almost dealt with that during the multiversus leak that happened. This is what happened to PointCrow, all right? And keep in mind that it's 3 strikes at your route. And PointCrow in this video explained that rather than making one big strike at once with each piece of content, as strikes can be actually bundled together, Nintendo issued a strike for one video and then a second strike for 3 others bundled together. This left him with 2 strikes total on his channel and was definitely done on purpose. This basically left with his, PointCrow with his channel still intact, but made it so that literally one strike, even accidental, for the rest of his channel's life will take it down. Nintendo basically put PointCrow's head on the chopping block and they're letting him walk, but with a gun following his head for the rest of his life in terms of his content, and that's scary, Obviously, this is all incredibly hurtful to a channel and creators can appeal these claims, but if the appeal is then denied, it can open up a gigantic lawsuit, which any normal person is certain to not win against the behemoth that is Nintendo. If you lose said lawsuit, you can leave the creator in a large amount of trouble with YouTube, and you're warned of this when you send an appeal. So that's basically how it goes. The content guidelines of Nintendo were actually mentioned in PointCrow's video, but we can actually read through it. Now, these are the guidelines that were posted right before Smash Ultimate hit, and these issues with PointCrow actually happened a month before Breath of the Wild sequel was even released. Issues have happened to Smash content creators numerous times in the past, especially when new games have come out. It's a risk we all take. It has happened and will happen again. Things have seemed quiet lately for Nintendo targeting creators, but this issue with PointCrow is one of the most prolific cases of it in a while. And the scary thing is we don't even know what's going to happen yet. It's one page, their guidelines, obviously, hung by loyalty. As long as you follow basic rules, we will not object to your use of gameplay footage and screenshots. You can monetize it, include creative input and commentary, right. Videos that contain mere copies of Nintendo are not permitted, as we saw. You can only use Nintendo game content that has been officially released. Interesting. If you want to use intellectual property of a third party, you're responsible for obtaining any necessary third-party permissions. You're not permitted to imply or state that your videos are officially affiliated with or sponsored by Nintendo, and we reserve the right to remove any content we believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with these guidelines. Right. Uploads and live streams, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Again, they can remove stuff they think is unlawful or infringing. Monetization methods, Facebook, Nico Live, OpenRec TV, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Twitcasting. Can I sell content that I create and upload or live stream on a sharing platform if it includes Nintendo game content? Interesting. So that means you can't hide Nintendo content behind a paywall. Huh. Can I create, upload, and live stream content that is based on other Nintendo intellectual property outside of gameplay footage and screenshots? Applicable jurisdiction. What if I record someone playing an unreleased game at a public event such as a gaming expo? Keep in mind that most public events have filming guidelines. Make sure to check with them. Again, they keep saying this. We also reserve the right to remove any content that we believe is unlawful, infringing, inappropriate, or not in line with the guidelines. I am planning on hosting a gaming tournament. I didn't even read this. Using Nintendo video games and upload or live stream a video of that tournament on the sites. Are these activities subject to the guidelines? Uploading and live streaming Nintendo game content from a Nintendo authorized or, oh wow, from a Nintendo authorized or licensed tournament is within the scope, but anything outside of Nintendo authorized and licensed is outside the scope of the guidelines. Funny, I didn't realize there was Nintendo licensed tournaments. Anyway, there you go. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. It's sad what happened to PointCrow, but You know, hopefully he can bounce back. This seems to be like a never-ending battle. I think what is gonna finally fix this is like a Supreme Court case or something, which is like, I don't know, a case where people actually have like everyone's best interests at mind, and a case where we can finally make a new precedent, because this is so common and only going to get more and more common when it comes to like having content of games on YouTube. It's like they'll never be able to take everyone down all at once, but there's got to be new rules in play. I don't know. It's always been a very tricky like trail and slippery slope. Again, let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you next time.